Jupiter is the biggest planet in the solar system doesn't do it justice. Jupiter is a world so roomy that it could swallow every planet and moon in the solar system and still have room for more.
If you move the Earth, you could put it inside the Great Red Spot.
You can fit 1,000 Earths inside Jupiter. It's huge.
Hola, this is Kai Pachu with the weekly Pele report for March 25th of 2020. The moon, we just had a new moon in early degrees of Aries, conjunct Chiron, black moon Lilith, squaring the moon's nodes. I might even talk a little more about that coming up. Now she's going to go along, and today on Wednesday she's going to conjunct with Aries as she squares all that Capricorn, Jupiter, Pluto, Mars in Capricorn. And then by Saturday, well, then she's going to go in, and on Thursday she's going to go into Taurus, where she's going to hit Uranus, right? And early Taurus. You can look at the chart at the beginning of the talk here and pause it there. You can see all of these aspects. You know, the nice thing is that when she goes into Taurus, she will eventually conjunct with Venus on Saturday. And Venus is in a beautiful trine. Look at that nice trine between earthy Taurus and earthy Jupiter, Pluto in Capricorn. And then Venus is going to come into a nice trine with Mars too. She's just cruising right along through Taurus. Very beautiful. In the meantime, Mars, okay, is charging, you know, conjoined with Jupiter, conjoined with Pluto, is marching on. On Sunday, he is at the 29th critical degree of Capricorn. And then by Sunday, he moves in to Aquarius to conjoin with Saturn. And you can see, I mean, he moves a little less than a degree a day. So what you're going to see is, on that chart that I have, Jupiter is conjunct Pluto and Mars is conjunct Saturn, all at the same time, hanging out right there. It's kind of a culmination. We're building, you know, till these conjunctions, very, very intense, and they're happening on Sunday. So it's things are building up here all through the rest of the week and down back into the weekend. And there's lots more I can talk about. I mean, Mercury is moving out of shadow on February 17th. Okay, Mercury went retrograde, and he's just now, as of next Monday, going to start moving into new territory. So there's been a rehashing with this Mercury for a little while now, and he's emerging out. We're going to get some new energy, some new understanding as Mercury comes into that conjunction with Neptune, but that's not going to be till next week, and that will be another report. And so for now, I'm just going to find a place to sit and explain what all that means. Oh yeah. Okay, everybody. I want to start right off with the new moon. New moon in Aries, conjunct Chiron, squaring the moon's nodes. Last week I got way off on a tangent. I didn't really talk about, the daily kind of stuff that's going on, but this new moon in Aries, it sets the tone for the whole month. So we have the overtone of the wounded warrior. We have the undertone of the wounded healer, attending to our wounds, whether they're virus or our past history, our feeling of impotence, of helplessness, of hopelessness. The warrior is the one that does things, charges, asserts its will, and gets things done, goes where it wants, when it wants, stays home when it wants, plays when it wants, makes love when it wants. It's just go, go, go. And we've got this Chiron moving through Aries, this masculine energy that's been distorted, perverted, okay, weirded out for centuries. The misuse of the masculine energy to dominate nature, to take, to rip off, abuse, rape the earth, the mother, the Gaia. Now we're just kind of coming around. Chiron is in Aries, like I said before. Okay, that's an 8-year transit. It's been there for 1. We've got 7 more to go. This is we're just coming into the beginning of this massive change of ages, not only of ages, but of paradigms, of thousands of years. This is a huge time. It's a huge turning point. What I find so beautiful is the Sabian symbol for the degree of that new moon. It's the 5th degree of Aries. There's the book I use. You've seen it before, you'll probably see it again if you listen to my channel, man. It's a triangle with wings. 5th degree, Aries, 5 degrees. The capacity for self-transcending. This is the symbol of the desire to reach a higher level of existence, of pure aspiration or devotion, of bhakti. What has emerged in the first phase of the process of differentiation is becoming aware of the possibility of further upreachings. The principle of levitation is seen as one of the 2 essential factors in evolution. The emergent being glorifies and deifies itself, but it is still only an ideal. At this stage, nevertheless, the whole being experiences a childlike longing for its eventual realization. A new dimension of being is envisioned, mobilizing creative endeavors. A pair of wings with a triangle, the law of 3, the Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. The 3rd harmonic has to do, okay, with this opening, this clairvoyance, this bhakti energy. This is a time for us, and I just want to really encourage each and every one of us to use this year, 2020, as really a time of reshaping our future. This is not a time to be carried along by the forces of the patriarchy or the past. This is a time where it's like the cards are getting shuffled, okay? We've been dealt a hand, we've played a hand, it's taken a few thousand years, and now it's all getting shuffled, getting shook up. Redistribution of wealth, redistribution of oil and resources and medicines and healing, the healthcare system. I'll tell you, this is a time. This is the time of stopping doing things the way they've always been done and reflect. So this Saturn moving into Aquarius. Saturn goes into Aquarius, retrogrades back into Capricorn, and comes back again. Next December in particular will be the 3rd time that Saturn is at this 0 degree of Aquarius. So we have this whole year, it's kind of moving forward. And what is Saturn? Maturity. It's time to grow up. It's time to take responsibility. It's moving into Aquarius. Aquarius, I mean Saturn and Aquarius, obviously. Aquarius is social. It's our global reality. It's the internet. It's friends, groups, community. And Saturn going in there, okay, is definitely, right, isolation, self-isolation. blocks, walls, limitations to our friends, groups, and associates. Mars coming along to conjunct Saturn is a lockdown. Mars Saturn is the military. This is, coming up this weekend. It's all kind of really building in intensity as Jupiter conjuncting Pluto magnifies this whole intense, deep processing and transmutation. So we're all kind of feeling overwhelmed. We can all be feeling pretty weak right now, pretty helpless, pretty hopeless. This is a time, it's often been said, people don't pray and they don't pray and they don't pray. They don't talk to God, they don't meditate until it's an emergency, until it's a disaster. From time immemorial, just go back to the Bible, go back even farther than that. The plagues. Moses brought the plagues to Egypt. Okay, there's been plagues. The Black Plague in Europe. Okay, all these plagues have always, it's very deep. Whether you want to believe in past lives or DNA and our collective memory, it's deep in humanity's collective memory that a pandemic or a plague is a punishment by God. Right? Or we could say Mother Nature, God, Allah, Source, Creator, life. It's like, wake up. It's a big, huge reminder that we are mortal, that we are temporary, and we better look at what we're doing. And if the forest fires don't wake us up, and the melting glaciers don't wake us up, and the rising oceans don't wake us up, and the hurricanes don't wake us up, well, maybe a virus will wake us up to mindfulness, to purposefulness, to what life really means, to what life is really about, to who we really are. This is a beautiful time. The wings with the triangle to envision. Now that these cards are getting shuffled, we are going to get an opportunity. We are going to have an opportunity, and it's going to take a number of years. But the economy is going to bounce back. The health is going to bounce back. Nature, life, humanity always bounces back. But do we want to bounce back to the same place? To the same way of doing things? To the same way that we were? No. Now is a chance with our triangle in our wings to envision a higher order of existence, a higher form of expression for our own personal nature. So we want to take this time. We want to, in a way, be grateful for this time. To shut out the distractions. You stay home. Feel your feelings. You got to meditate a little bit. I just did a yoga, put it up on YouTube. I'm going to do a whole nother, I think, video around the politics and the economy and the stock market and Donald Trump, and I'm going to do all that stuff, but I don't know that I'm going to just put it out here on YouTube, for the general public. I may kind of save that. I have an online community. There's a new paradigm astrology community, and there are people that are they know me better, and it's a little more, how can I say, friendly? I don't need nasty emails and comments and stuff, because I do have a lot to say, and there's a lot to bring forward, but it's really when you ask a question and you're ready for the answer and you're listening, that the new can really make itself, that we can find the teacher. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. So like when we're not asking, when we're not looking, when we're not seeking, when we're just, at the bars or the restaurants or, the cafes or Starbucks, everything that's closed, when we're just out there partying, we don't necessarily get the answers to our questions. Now we may be listening a little deeper, a little better. And I want to encourage each and every one of us now is the time to listen in. And not take it personally. Not that, I'm being punished by God, like I've done something wrong, or I'm bad, or, I'm afraid and I might die, or, I'm in grief and sorrow and I'm hopeless, I'm feeling vulnerable. We are all super vulnerable. That's why we have to stay home. And vulnerability is not comfortable. And yet, it's our humanity. The moon's coming around through Aries, Taurus, Gemini, into Cancer. She's gonna hit Cancer. What did I say, She comes into Cancer on Tuesday, hits the north node of the moon, squares Chiron. I'd say, within a week or so, okay, when that moon hits her north node, there's going to be a realization. And that realization hopefully leads to new forms of action, new ways of addressing the threat. And that threat may be politicians. That threat may be the way, that we're managing the situation. Or that threat, of course, is the virus. So, yeah, today, this the mantra for this week, really. I can be afraid of my feelings deep inside, but the more of myself I own and embrace, the easier it is to decide. Mars-Saturn is the sword that cuts. Saturn separates, finishes one contract, starts another contract, closes this business, starts a new business, ends this relationship, starts a new, commits to a new way, a new path. This is a time of big decisions. Will I go back to that job that I had? Will I go back to the life that I had? These decisions are going to shape our expression of who we are for the rest of our lives, and our children's and their children and future generations. So yeah, it can be, we can go inside and go, oh man, maybe I doubt myself, or I did something wrong, or I'm feeling bad. And, we may want to avoid or deny these feelings. I'm encouraging you. Our feelings hold great wisdom around who we are. I am who my feelings relate to me, who I am. My thoughts are who I want to be. That's my ideal. That's who I think I am. My feelings are who I really am right here now. So it may not be comfortable to turn off the internet and the screens and the TVs and just feel into the feelings, stare into the fire, maybe have a glass of wine or look out the window, come to the river, listen to the birds. Sit in stillness. Feel those feelings. Know thyself. And when you do, and you embrace it, you'll know what to do. You won't be, oh, I don't know. Oh, I'm not sure. Well, maybe. What's ever going to pay the rent? No. It's like, I spent that time, I went in, I know who I am, I know the path I'm on, I know what I want to be, where I want to go. Bam! Mars, Saturn, into Aquarius, the future. Ow! It's going to start new, right? When Mars passes Saturn and Jupiter passes Pluto. There's going to be a little time here where there's some forward motion. And it won't be long. We want to seize the day because they are going to go retrograde shortly. But at least get Mars, at least. Mars is through Capricorn. Oh man, it's been a rough freaking month. Be glad to have him out of Earth into outer space. Take off, Mars. One more time, yeah? I can be afraid of my feelings deep inside. But the more I own, the more of myself I own and embrace, the easier it is to decide. May you make the best decisions for everyone concerned. I talked about narcissism last week. Aquarius is the opposite of Leo. Leo is more myself. Aquarius is the group and the future. This may be a time of putting our own passionate selves and relationship aside and to really devote and live our lives for and with the future and each other. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.